Essentially, I wear a lot of hats. I'm a friend and a peer, and sometimes a mom, and sometimes a sister, and sometimes a counselor. And I'm someone who connects residents to resources. Sometimes I'm the first to hear about sexual assault and tragic, terrible things that come up on this campus. And other times I'm there to congratulate students on getting an internship or getting an awesome grade in a class that they were really worried about. And so sometimes I'm also a cheerleader, and I get that opportunity too. So it can be challenging sometimes because I'm a student too, and that's something that I think can be forgotten when we work in the RA role. And it's something that housing says that they recognize. It'll be one of the first things they say to us is you're a student first, that you're a person first, a student second, and an RA third. So while that motto does stand and it is used frequently, there are times when you feel like the RA job is definitely trumping anything else that you're doing. So there are days when I'm doing my homework and a resident will knock on the door and they'll be having an issue or a crisis, and you can't just turn someone away who's crying at your door, So you have to have to sit down and put your work aside and close your laptop and completely turn that RA brain on. You are in your home, but you're also in your place of work as well. So there's kind of that weird, juxtaposition. I work approximately 12 to 14 hours a week is what is in our contract. There are definitely heavier weeks. Which means that we're sometimes logging more hours than we're supposed to be. And that can definitely take away from time to, have self-care and relax and be a human being, and also from academics and studying for tests and all that kind of stuff. My college experience would be completely different if I didn't go home to an RA staff every day, because I'm so used to it at this point, and it's something that's just become a part of my college experience. I don't know how I wouldn't be Chelsea, the RA, It's part of my identity. I think it's because it's the RA position and it has this ring to it, It's like, oh, you're an RA, and then eventually it's supposed to, there's this idea that, once you get into the job market and you start trying to kind of find a career, there's this expectation of RAs to be these kind of responsible people that can kind of fall into an organization and know how to be, an inclusive person and an open-minded person and someone who can kind of take charge but also work with a lot of different people. And I think labels have a lot to do with how people think about what they're doing. So that's probably why companies and organizations can get away with unpaid internships, because they're saying, here's an internship, it's probably going to pay off for you in the future, you're probably going to be able to have your foot in the door and get to know someone in the organization or the corporation and eventually get a job later. But in the meantime, you're not getting any monetary gain, so you're doing all your work for free, and yes, you're getting this experience, but you're putting in a lot of work for it, and what if it doesn't pay off at the end of it? So essentially, I'm gonna be broke before and already kind of in the negatives when I start my job, but that's just how the world works now, sadly. There's almost this necessity to be as knowledgeable and qualified as can be, and that takes money. I really should have more of a kind of grasp on the money situation, but it's something that you kind of put out of your mind because you have to do 4 years of college, you have to graduate, you have to get the diploma. That's kind of one of the things about the college experience is towards the end of it, or even anytime, you feel bad for the time that you're spending not doing anything and watching mindless television and doing things that make you happy, because any moment is a moment that you could be doing something that's going to put you a step further towards your future.